What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Today, we're here with Grand Party, of course. You know, we have to do it every single day while it's out, so here is our Grand Party day number 3. So only 2 more days to go, thank God. But we are here with using Roger this time. I'm using actually the exact same team setup that I used in yesterday's video, but instead of using Sanji as the captain, I just opted to try out using Roger. And of course, when you're able to utilize Roger's burst plus Luffy Yamato, that combination is extremely deadly. And in a lot of scenarios, you just win with that combo straight out. It is incredibly potent. But unfortunately was unable to get the community strategy to go ahead this time today. I did reset, I did every single one of these. I went to max resets and just could not find any opponent that would fulfill the community strategy, unfortunately. But, you know, we'll try again next month, of course, with days 1 and 2. We get a lot of refreshes to try it out. So we'll try again next month. Hopefully we get a lot of people on board. It would be really nice if we could do that and continue the strategy to essentially get free wins. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. What I've done in this video is I have sped up every single match just to make things a little bit more watchable, I would say, because, you know, everyone has to go through the same process of all of these Rumble matches every single day. So why not just go ahead and speed it up? So you can see everything in kind of fast motion in double speed just to see how all of these matches play out. So with this first one here, we had a pretty good, I think we actually lost in the first one. So we actually had to try and get the double win in the back here, and unfortunately, you know, had to deal with Roger burst and stuff like that. Roger is just so annoying. I absolutely hate going up against Rogers, but you have to use it. It is the best burst, and you know there are still a couple of other bursts out there that are good. You know, Roger Whitebeard, you still see plenty of those around, but whenever you see a leader that isn't Roger Whitebeard or Roger, you really have to take a look at it because it actually gives you a pretty good advantage, honestly. But after using this team setup for the last couple of days, I have found that the secondary Free Spirit team, the one that has Luffy crew on it, isn't as good, honestly. It has a lot of problems with it just in its entirety. And it really spans down to the fact that the team just isn't bulky enough. And that just honestly is a huge issue. So even though if you get, you know, your specials launched in the right order, you know, with Luffy crew, which can haste all your characters, you get a lot of damage off. It is really nice, but, you know, it just doesn't work as effectively as you would think all the time. And it really does suck as well. I think it's either Sai or Free Spirit, one of the two, do get special CT reduction during this season. I believe it's Sai characters. So, you know, characters like Roger and characters like Sai Odin on these Free Spirit teams just don't perform as well, unfortunately. But it is what it is. You know, we still tried it out. We were able to get the victory in that second game there, as you saw. And now we pick it up with the good Free Spirit team. I absolutely love using this team. And, you know, if you're able to get the Roger burst with the Luffy Yamato special, whoo, it is crazy. It is so good. Even up against the tankiest of teams, like tanky Dex teams or int-driven teams. Being able to just tear through them with the Luffy Yamato special, you know, targeting everyone for 3.5 times damage, and then damage through defense as well, which just it just does a lot of damage. It's very fun. So, leave you guys with the rest of this, and we'll pick things up in match number 2. So as we head into the second match of day number 3, I immediately saw that the opponent had a quick team, and I know for sure that's essentially a free victory. And then you look at that second team. That second team is very scary. It's a lot of health cuts and fixed damage, and I have seen that particular team fly around the last couple of Grand Party seasons, and it's very good. I haven't really built up the courage to really use that team myself, but every time I've gone up against it, my team has lost to it. I haven't beaten that team. and I really don't know what the best strategy is against it, honestly. Those severe health cuts. It's very bulky team as well. You know, you got characters like Jack and all that. You got Roger for fixed damage and more stat reductions, and they've got Tesoro for fixed damage, and then Kuzan with like 4,000 fixed damage, and it's a lot to take, and it's very, very annoying to deal with. So you guys will see that in this second match. But this first one, as I said, it is almost a free victory, pretty much. You know, things can go horribly wrong, and you might end up losing it, but in more often than not, you know, a pretty solid Dex team should take out most quick teams, you know, if they are planned. I'd say, you know, just the generic quick teams. You should be able to take them on with a Dex team without too many issues. So I absolutely love seeing opposing quick teams always want to take them on. Always works out quite well. But then, of course, we had that really weird health cut fixed damage team, as you guys are going to see. And I felt more comfortable, because, like, I do know, you know, that team exists, and it is kind of a problem. I felt more comfortable using my subsidiary Free Spirit team against it. And then the unknown team at the end, I feel really comfortable with a Roger Burst to take on an unknown team with that Free Spirit team, as it gets quite a lot of boost this season. And then with a Roger Burst on top of that, I felt relatively comfortable. So at this point, my whole goal was to try and get my opponent to use the GP Burst twice during match 2. And what that would mean is it would mean as we move into the third game of this match, that he wouldn't have the Roger Burst at all. So it gives me a really good advantage. So of course he had the burst from the last game, so he does use it as soon as we start the fight here, which is good. And for the first 20 seconds, it doesn't really matter, but with all of these damage dealing specials the opponent has, it catches up very quickly, and we just absolutely get destroyed. I do end up using a Roger Burst to see that maybe if we could get a bit of luck, because I saw that Straw Hats were coming up, and you know, you see we do get quite a lot of specials, but we got so unlucky in the ordering and the positioning of my opponent's team, because basically only one character at the front took all the hits. But if this was targeting all characters, then we probably would have won this match just straight up. But we got very unlucky with the opponent positions, and that is essentially what lost us the game. And that's the RNG of Pirate Rumble and Grand Party as a whole. I absolutely hate this game mode. It's really, really dumb. But as I said, we do have our strongest Free Spirit team towards the end here. Felt comfortable taking it up against an unknown team, and if I remember correctly, I believe it was a Dex team that we come up against. So I felt really good going into that, because I know that with a Roger Burst, our team should be able to absolutely melt through an opposing Dex team, even if it was like an int-driven team or whatever, which would be strange, but we should be able to deal with that as well. So when I saw Dex team, I knew that this was going to be a pretty swift victory. And I guess I shouldn't say a swift victory. We actually have to go quite late into the game before we can start doing serious damage to the opponent. Of course, Luffy Yamato only really do big damage in the second half of the game. So we have to conserve that Roger Burst for the second half of the match, just so that we can get the really good wave clears, because my opponent's front line should stay alive until like probably the last 30 to 40 seconds, and then we should start going crazy and get that dub. So I'll leave you guys with the rest of this clip as we go absolutely crazy against this Dex team, and we'll pick things up at the final match of the video. And here we are with our final match, and we got really lucky here, because I was able to find an opponent that was using Luffy Crew as the main GP leader, which was very, very awesome to see. So I see that, you know, the opponent's using a quick team and they're using a Dex team, and, you know, we know how these things go. You know, the Dex team should be able to deal with most quick teams, and you see this team that isn't really the most efficient looking quick team out there. So yeah, that was easily a free victory. And you saw how the really good Free Spirit team performed in the previous match versus my opponent's Dex team. So I felt really, really comfortable, you know, taking on the quick team with my Dex, and then using the strong Free Spirit against my opponent's Dex team, and we shouldn't have to worry about the final team. But, you know, judging by the opponent's, you know, team building, Luffy crew, and there's a quick team, there's a Dex team, there's most likely either a Free Spirit team or a Strength team. Considering in Luffy crew was on the final squad, it would make sense if it is a Free Spirit team, but that would mean there's no Luffy Yamato, there's no Sanji, there's no Zoro. So yeah, this looked like a pretty free victory for us, which was kind of lucky. So we did get lucky with at least one of our games in this video. Didn't have to go up against, you know, Roger for 3 matches in a row, thankfully. But, you know, we'll move into day 4 and day 5, and I'm sure we're going to have to deal with more of them to come. And considering how strong these Free Spirit teams are this season, and the fact that there are hidden teams as well, day 4 and 5 is going to be rough. And it's going to be tough for a lot of people to secure 15 victories this season, I feel. It's going to be really, really rough, but we'll see how things go. I'll leave you guys with the rest of this video, and at the end of this clip here, I actually have one of the red tickets from the rewards, from the total mission rewards of Grand Party this season. So I'll leave the legend ticket towards the end so you can see what I got. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and you know, we'll be back tomorrow with day 4 of Grand Party. Hopefully you enjoyed the video today. If you did, make sure to go ahead, leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
俺も俺が守るしかないよ。全て乗れ。俺が守ってやる。気持ちの方に。お前らじゃ何も面白くねえ。いつでもな、俺の前へ来てすな。僕がこの手でけじめをつける。俺は海賊王になる男だ。お姉さん、会いたかった。俺もお前たち会いたかったぞ。王族が奉仕などするな。話にならねえ。